Turkey has rejected the conviction of former Halkbank executive Mehmet Hakan Atilla by a US court. Atilla was accused of helping Iran evade US sanctions. He was found guilty on 5 counts, including bank fraud and conspiracy. Turkey says the verdict goes against international law and describes it as scandalous and a judicial shame. Attila's defense attorney says he plans to appeal.
I think that my client's trials are never perfect. This trial's not perfect. That's why we have appellate courts. But we're disappointed, but we know that, and Mr. Atilla obviously intends to continue to fight.
Turkey's presidential spokesman has also spoken out against the verdict, saying the case was politically motivated.
This is a scandalous decision from a scandalous case. It has no meaning beyond that. It was obvious since the beginning that the case was applied against Turkey to interfere in its domestic affairs and destabilize its internal politics. This is the staging of what is a shameful scenario for law. We're wondering how long the US administration will allow the Fethullah terror group to use its connections and networks to abuse the US judiciary system in its favor.
So how will this verdict affect Turkish banks, particularly if Atilla is sentenced? Earlier, I put that question to Selva Tor, a financial security strategist.
I don't think that the trial was, subject to any penalty to any banks. The primary occasion of these trials was actually looking for if any, Atilla or Zarrab or anybody else who was actually accused is in line with the U.S. jurisdiction of embargo or not. The second thing is, even if it happened, Halkbank, for example, cannot be subject to any penalty because they are not existing legally in U.S. territory.
Right. Let me read to you something, though, that the U.S. Attorney for Manhattan, Jun Kim, has said today. He said, foreign banks and bankers have a choice. Mm-hmm. You can choose willfully to help Iran and other sanctioned nations evade U.S. law, or you can choose to be part of the international banking community transacting in U.S. dollars, but you can't do both. What is he trying to say there?
Yeah, it's a very bold statement about their monetary power. Yes, but on the other side, this long arm of U.S. is actually in question at the moment in many occasions. And internationalizing their jurisdiction is subject to many critics at the moment. And when it comes to specifically to our case, to Halkbank case, Halkbank did not use any US dollars in any Iranian oil payment transactions. This is clearly stated by the Halkbank for many occasions. And interestingly, none of the statements or any papers presented by the attorneys during the trial was actually justifying any kind of transaction. This is not yet proven by the US attorneys.
Part of the allegations, at least, were that some of the gold that was part of this transaction was converted into hard currency for Iran for them to use. At least that was one of the allegations, is that not?
But it's not Halkbank to make this conversion. In Turkey, these transactions are open and freely done, and in the end of the day, if we have a kind of a cooperation, a memorandum of understanding with Iran, in order to give a lifeline to Iranian economy, which is very important for Turkish national security as well,
right? Not
only for Iranian national security.
Okay.
And and if it is not done under the U.S. SWIFT system, this is okay
falls
for us.
Outside of U.S. jurisdiction, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Selva Tor, financial strategist. Thank you very much indeed for your time.